Alright, Eniash, what is an important factor for you when you pick a holiday destination?
Historic history.
Okay, the history of their country.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
If the city is interesting,
The culture.
yes, and we have things to do.
So, things to do, activities.
Yes,
I heard Barbara talking about roller coasters. So it depends. If you're interested in going to the museums, you can go to a city. But if you're interested in roller coasters, where would you go to?
I was going to Switzerland.
Switzerland?
I went there and had the most amazing roller coaster.
I didn't know they had roller coasters there. I know in Florida there are lots of roller coasters, but in Switzerland as well.
In Berlin too.
In
Berlin.
Berlin as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. So, activities. We said the weather, things to do.
The price.
Of course, the
The
cost.
weather, yes.
If you go to Spain, it will be cheaper than if you go to Australia. Okay? What else?
Beach.
No, the weather.
The landscape, okay? If you want to go to the beach or if you prefer to go to the mountains. Okay, what else?
The people.
Yes,
the
the
people
language.
No, it's
Okay.
We don't go. No, but
It's difficult to go to China because.
But they speak English.
Yes.
But
Some people speak English,
even
not
if you
everyone.
go to a restaurant, how do you eat?
They have numbers, like in the Chinese restaurant, they have numbers maybe. Okay, what else? If you want to go camping, like you want to go to a 4-star hotel. Yeah, but what do we call this? These are two types of accommodation. Okay, the accommodation. All right, good. So, where do you usually go when you want to find information about your holiday destination? Where do you find information? Travel agency.
Yes, travel agents. Internet.
Excellent.
Books?
What kind of books?
Magazines.
A magazine.
No, it's like those
There's
guys.
where you go to flag
The
and there's a
magazine
place.
of the day.
A tourist guide.
Yes.
Okay. A guidebook. Or if you go to the travel agency, what kind of books do they give you?
Yes, is that what I want to say? It's not a
What
magazine.
do we call those kind of books? Brochures.
Brochures.
Brochures. And in the brochures you have all the information you need. Okay, good. So, this is Sally. And Sally is 15. And she wants to go on holiday with her best friend, Elizabeth. So, she went to the travel agency. She went to the travel agency, she picked up a brochure, and here is the holiday she picked. So, with your partner, you have a look at it, okay? And you tell me, you find out where the holiday is and what Sally wants to know. She made some notes, so where she wants to go and what she wants to know about the holiday. Okay? 2 minutes. So, you have 1. Okay, you have 2 for you 3 and 1 for you 2.
What are the social rates?
Alright, so where's the holiday? Cuba. Okay. What does Sally want to know? Inyash. What does Sally want to know? What information does she want to have?
She wants details about the things that she can do.
She wants to know what kind of things she can do.
She
questions?
wants,
Okay.
like for example, she's going to do horse riding. She wants to know what she's going to see.
Okay.
What departures?
Okay, but the day trip, where is the day trip?
And she went.
Where? Where?
Oh, where in here?
Caio Blanco.
Caio Blanco. Okay. That's what she wants. She wants to know what she can see there. Okay. What else?
The date.
She wants to know, okay, when they can go there, and the last one.
What
More
are the
details.
special rates? Yes.
More details. Okay, the cost. Okay, and more details about what?
About the sightseeing
Trinidad
in
and
Trinidad.
Cienfuegos. Okay. She wants to know. She wants to have more details about those ones. Okay, good. So Sally is going to write a letter to the person in the travel agency. So what kind of letter do you think she's going to write? Is it a formal letter, more official, or informal letter?
Formal.
Formal letter. Have you ever written a formal letter?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes?
In tests.
In a test at school, but in real life?
No.
No, teacher, we impart.
I don't think we.
Because even in Portuguese,
We
yes.
don't write formal letters, I think.
We
No, who did you write a formal
We
letter
don't write
to?
to
Letters.
my the person who works in the bank.
Oh, okay.
Teacher.
Because they
We don't write
They
letters.
You don't write letters.
they had a promotion.
We
Yes,
text.
we
Emails
we
or
put
texts.
An offer, okay? They
yes,
have an offer.
number of money, and they gave bikes and MP3.
Ah,
and I
they give
didn't
you a
receive-
present.
Yes, and I didn't receive. So
You wrote the letter and you
I
didn't get the present.
so teacher, I was very angry and I wrote it, and they gave me a bike.
Okay, good. So, Sally is going to write a formal letter. So, I'm going to give you two letters. One is formal, one is informal. It's not about this holiday, it's about a different holiday. But, so you're going to work in pairs. I cut up the two letters. So you have to do two things. First, you have to find the ones about the formal letter, then the one about the informal letters. And second thing, you have to put the tickets in order.
What's the first thing?
What do you have to do first?
We need to separate the formal.
To group them. One is the formal, one is the informal. Second thing,
To organize them.
to put them in the correct order. Okay, good. So, who wants to work alone?
No. Let us work
In threes? Okay. That's for you, and that's for you.
I would. This is formal. Temos duas cartas, I was wondering. Eu vou para aí, I will be writing information. I will be informal here. Informal here.
No, this is formal.
Hijack. Wait, this is formal.
Remember me then.
Formal. Let's put formal first in a group. And then
Actually, there was something else.
Informal.
Cheers, man. Remember me then.
It's from the.
This is the first one.
No,
Your sis. No, consegues ter no início.
Okay.
So you
Formal.
informal.
And this is so.
Dear Mr.
I'm writing to blah blah
Yes.
blah.
And this is the last one. No, this
No,
can be
okay.
used.
Yeah, this is informal. Gotcha. Okay. Yes. That's informal. Cheers, mate.
I don't remember me, blah blah blah. Actually, it's already
No, actually, no. Wait.
I'm sitting. Anyway.
Swedish.
Yeah, I enjoyed that I'm coming back from
Essa was quizzing.
Yeah.
Did you finish?
Finished? The two letters as well?
Yes.
Finished, Emma?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so. Have a look and check the informal letter first. Oh.
Anyway, actually, it will be cheer time. It's
So, do you have the same order?
Yes.
Yes.
Isabel, same order for the informal?
Yes.
Emma, same order?
Yes.
Okay. Now check the formal letter.
Olha, tô confiando em você. That's right.
Yes.
Everything correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So, what helped you to find what was formal, what was informal, and the order?
We are, or these things like
The contractions.
Yes.
Ah, so when do we use contractions?
Contractions
In the
informal
formal
letters.
letters.
Informal and informal letter?
And the
No
beginning.
contractions.
The beginning is like hey Jack or
The greeting.
yes.
And the connection.
And the final.
So, what do we use in informal letter?
Dear Miss.
Informal letter.
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Hey.
And formal letter? What do you
Dear
have?
Mr. or Mrs.
Okay, good. What else?
The ends.
Yes. The
The
content.
no, the con.
Conclusion.
No,
Conclusion.
like finally.
Conclusion.
The linkers,
Yes,
linking
linking
words.
words.
Firstly,
Yes.
secondly, finally, and
So you have
anyway.
more linking words in the
In
formal, in the formal letter. Okay,
And
good.
the final like
The final.
kisses like hug or then.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Yours
mate.
faithfully. Yours
Yes.
The ending.
Yes.
Okay, the ending is different as well. Okay, good. So here we have, what is the meaning of to, I'm writing to inquire about the 4-day cruise. Can you give two synonyms?
Ask.
To ask about something. And here, but we were wondering if you could answer a few of our queries first.
Questions.
Questions. Okay. So which one is more formal? Questions, queries, inquire, ask. This is more formal. We call them like more expensive words. Okay. Excellent. Good. Now, keep the formal letter. The informal letter, can you put the tickets together? Don't look at it. Just keep the formal letters on the table. Those ones up, you can keep them like this. And, right, just gonna put this like this. All right. So you have the formal letter on your desk.
Yes.
We're going to have 2 columns. One about things you should do and things you shouldn't do when you write a formal letter.
Is contraction.
I have the rules, some rules here. So I'm going to give you a couple of cards. You read the rule, you have a look at the formal letter to find examples, and then you stand up and you stick the card in the correct column. If you should do it, or if you shouldn't do it, according to the rules. Okay? Okay, good. So,
Vamos fazer.
okay. in the do column. You just have to wait
Oh, did you?
45 minutes.
I can't wait for it.
You'll be able to
For a minute, please.
Okay, in the do column, you have use greetings such as Dear Sir, Dear Madam, Dear Mr. Smith. Do you think we put this in the formal letter?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. So this is correct. Now you have used endings such as yours sincerely
Yes.
or yours faithfully. Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So what do you use? Yours sincerely and yours faithfully. What's the difference?
No.
Since we're like I don't know, but faithful, it's like thank you and I don't know.
Okay, right. So actually, when you use dear sir, dear madam, it's because you don't know the person, the name of the person you're writing to. So you say dear sir, dear madam. In that case, you will use yours faithfully. But if you know the name of the person you're writing to, like dear Mr. Smith, in that case, you use yours sincerely. If you know the name, you sign with yours sincerely. If you don't know, dear sir, dear madam, and you write yours faithfully. Okay, so these two are correct. Now, use set phrases such as, I look forward to hearing from you. Did you have this in your letter? In the example?
It's don't.
It's what's
Do you think it's formal or not formal?
what?
I look forward to hearing from you.
Formal.
It's formal. It's a very important phrase that you always put at the end of your formal letter. Good. Use linking words in Yash. Do you use linking words?
Yes.
Yes, as you said before. Excellent. Such as furthermore, in addition to, instead of and. This is more formal. Use more complex sentence structures.
Yes.
Of course. Okay. Use passive voice.
Yes.
No, passive.
Passive voice. In the letter, can you find me one example of passive voice in the letter?
Where is that?
In the formal
No,
letter.
it's down.
So check if you have one example.
No.
No.
Look at this ticket. See. Can you find any examples of passive voice?
It's here. I think.
Can you tell us, Emma? What
I
is
was
it?
wondering. No. I was wondering if any extra activities for children such as
Any activities?
for children,
Okay. Where's the passive voice here?
such as treasures. No.
How do you form the passive voice?
Oh no.
It's
She say.
this building was built for him by him.
Okay, so you have the verb to be plus the past participle. Okay. And actually, the subject is not the person who does the action. So here, you have an example of one passive voice. Here in this, on this card.
The one you told us.
Mhm. Verb to be plus the past participle.
Here
Excellent, yes.
are offered.
Are offered. Okay, so this is an example of a passive voice. So it's better to use, it's more formal to use a passive voice. Good. And then use of phrasal verbs. For example, what was the phrasal verb that the person used in the informal letter? Saying, okay, me and my friend.
Split. No, I don't remember.
we're very good friends together. We got on well. So this kind of phrasal verb is not very formal. Okay, so you would put it here. Okay, direct questions. Okay, you shouldn't use direct questions. Excellent. What is the opposite of direct questions? Indirect questions. So should you put direct question and indirect question in the same column? No. So which one do we put? Indirect questions. Okay. Can you give me an example of a direct question? Not in the letter.
Are you coming here tomorrow?
Are you coming here tomorrow? Good. Can you change this question into an indirect question?
I hope you come here.
It
Will
would be
inform
good
me
if-
if you're coming or not.
It would be good if you could come here tomorrow.
I would like
You to come.
I would like to
No.
To
if
know.
you're coming.
if you come in. Okay, so indirect questions should be here. Exclamation marks. Why shouldn't you use them?
It's like you are angry.
Because you're expressing your feelings. If you're angry, if you're happy. So a formal letter, you don't speak about, you don't show your feelings. It has to be really formal. Okay. Dear plus the first name.
No.
Of course not. Dear Mr. Smith. Okay. Contractions.
No.
Everybody said no before.
No. Informal.
Abbreviations.
No.
No. Capital letters to write the whole word.
No.
No. What does it mean when you chat, for example, and you write one word in capital letters?
It's like
What
you are
does it mean?
screaming.
Like if you're shouting. Okay, so don't use capital letters. Be creative and write extra information for the letter to be interesting.
No.
Okay, no, it's not a story, so just write about what is required. Punctuation, use of semicolons.
No.
This. So you have to write short sentences
No.
or more complex sentences. So you have to use semicolons in that case. So here it's formal letters. And give personal information that you don't want anybody to know about it.
No.
No, okay? The person is not your friend, so don't tell extra information. Good. And do the phrasal verbs. Okay, excellent.
But teacher, and only write relevant information. It's okay.
Which one? Only write relevant information. Of course, because you don't include extra information. Okay, good. All right, so Sally went to the travel agency. She picked up the brochure, and she wants to go to Cuba. Okay, so she needs to write a letter
No, teacher. Are we going to
to
write? Teacher.
Mr.
No,
Smith.
please, teacher, no.
It's in pairs.
So I'm going to give you an example of a letter, but it's not a good letter. So you read the letter, it's really short, and in pairs you tell me what is wrong with this letter. Okay. Okay, you can run. Yes. We have 1 minute to go.
I just want to pee.
Thank you for the information. Okay, right, so this is the letter that Sally wrote, and it's a bad example. Why is it a bad example? Keep in mind the rules, make a few notes, and you have 2 minutes to discuss with your partners why it's wrong.
This is a formal.
It has to be a formal letter.
Bye for now. Oh my God. Teacher, this is.
So underline, make
It
notes.
was inquires and no environment inquires.
Enquire and queries.
Oh yeah.
Teacher, what is ASAP?
As soon as possible.
No.
let's check together.
Okay.
So, in terms of style of language, what's wrong?
It's very poor, like.
Okay, it's very
Contractions,
informal.
yes.
Okay, no rich vocabulary. Okay, and what about the questions?
It's
yes.
direct.
Very direct question.
And,
Direct questions.
And there's a wrong connector because
There are no linking words. Okay. What else?
There is extra information.
Extra information.
She used personal information.
Mm-hmm.
She used contractions.
Lots of contractions.
She starts dear John.
What is ASAP?
as soon as possible.
Okay. Is that a contraction?
That's an abbreviation.
Abbreviation. So no abbreviation either.
And
Okay.
it's not a problem.
She
Bye for
And
now.
bye
it's
for
like
now.
bye for now.
Bye for now.
Yeah,
That's
your
very
sister.
informal. What
Yes.
about the
Dear-
beginning?
Dear John.
Yes, the-
Dear John. Can we say Dear John?
Dear
No,
Mr. Sean.
no.
John is the first name in that case. Can you say
Dear Mr.
Smith.
Smith.
Smith. Oh, okay, good.
Don't you usually write Sally something? Not
And
Sally.
you sign with your last name, not just Sally. You sign with the last name as well. Okay, good. So, you're going to stay with your partner or your partners, and I'm going to give you the do and don't table. For you, it will be easier to read because the cards are quite small. And if you turn over, you have two important documents. First one is a planner. When you write a letter, first you have to use the planner to help you what to include in the letter. And when you finish the letter, use a checklist to check if you have included everything and if you have followed. If you have followed the rules. So you have 10 minutes, maximum 10 minutes. With your partners, I want you to rewrite a letter, but this time a good letter. It doesn't have to be very long, but the same letter. But this time you have to follow the rules, and first you use the planner. Okay? So with your partners, 10 minutes.
Thank you.
That's for you. That's for you. And you write one letter per group. One letter for you two, and one letter for you three. And have a look at the brochure as well to know what you have to include. Thank you, Inyash.
Dear Mr. Smith.
Okay, where is your brochure? You need to have a look at the brochure to know who are you writing to. The advert about Cuba.
You will follow the last name of John.
This is the bad example? Yes.
It's Smith. It's there. Yeah, Miss. Did y'all have a paper?
You don't have a paper?
to write.
Here it is.
My friend.
So first, use the planner before writing. Use this to know who you're writing to, what you need to include.
Ask information about the holidays. First question, anything else you'd like to say? About the visit to Cuba, so more details. Teacher, if you know the last name, it's faithful.
Which road?
No, sincerely.
You will sincerely, yes. Anna.
She's Sally what?
Teacher.
What's
her
her
name?
name? She's Sally what?
Make it up.
Sally Kim. Sally
Actually, Sally Walsh.
What is
Walsh.
What?
Vamos fazer a carta. What was that example that you said earlier about the boy that was yours? You said, do you want to come to my house?
To see.
Which was the example that you said indirectly?
What did I say? Do you want to come to my house? In
I
that
would
case?
like to know if you could come.
Teacher, it's, I just say it's, I hope to hear from you.
So?
Like
The sentence, the set phrase. It was.
Which dates? What wish? WHICH.
The third paragraph.
Pull forward. What do you say?
Looking forward.
I look forward to hear from you.
I.
Look forward.
Okay.
I would like to know. I would like to know.
We don't speak Spanish, is that the problem?
I would like to know.
As we don't know, because we don't speak.
If not speaking Spanish,
Look at the brochures and look at the notes. Because remember, Sally included some irrelevant information. So just look at the notes, what she wants to know.
Understand?
see. She doesn't have what else? I don't want to say what else you would say regarding this one. The second question.
Which activities can we do?
I would like to know. Can we see what answers? I would like to know what type of things are completed.
I would like to know which activities can we do.
No segundo, só que eu brinco no terceiro. Está já pus já o resto não.
Of activities.
Yes.
And places we can visit.
Besides that, actually I was taking besides that we don't speak Spanish. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. type of things. And the places you can visit no, besides that.
Parágrafo falso.
Uso pacífica normal, besides that, não speak Spanish.
I also would like to
We hope that's not a problem.
know.
É formal. Is it formal?
I didn't hear what you said.
The first, yes.
No, I also.
The second paragraph, we were saying, I'd like to know what activities can we do? And after that, besides that, we don't speak Spanish, and we hope that's not a problem.
Okay. Read look at the adverb. She's saying, she's asking you a question about speaking Spanish. In the notes.
No, but she says.
Yes, but remember, this is a bad example. And here, in the letter, you have to include only the relevant information. So, how many questions did she ask? How many notes? 4.
Yes.
So you only include information about these 4 notes. The rest, it's considered as extra information.
We are going to have a problem.
Okay, 2 more minutes?
How is the one that is substitute speech like expensive
And probably are going to have a problem because we don't know.
like ask was requires.
To inquire.
We would
Yes.
also like to
But
perhaps
a
besides
question.
that, we would also
Queries.
No, probably we are going to have a problem. We don't speak Spanish.
Okay, same thing. Here, you
Yes,
have
it's
the
what
adverb.
here she says.
Remember, this is a bad example.
I know, but
How many questions can you see? How many notes did she make? 1, 2.
What can you
Four.
see? Ask for more details.
So,
The problem with the Spanish is a detail.
Is extra information because there's nothing in the adverb about speaking Spanish. So you only need to stick to the questions.
But we need to know if it's a problem.
Why do you need to know that?
Because
Did Sally mention anything about it? No. Okay, try to finish up quickly.
I would like to have more information about the
Is it no, but it's six Oh,
although we have
we still have some queries.
okay? If we can go in all this because we don't have
Okay, in 2 minutes, if you haven't finished, we'll check together in 2 minutes.
I would like to know.
So, I also
I would like
would like to have more information
I
about
would like to know what activities can we do.
and what can we see. And like see, two answers. What activities can we do? See. Then we can
I would like to know.
about special rates.
I would like to know which activities. Sim, mas
I
também
also would like to
repeat.
what about special rates.
Very good. If you repeat what activities can I do and what can you see? It's very
I
difficult.
also like
Which
to have more
activities can you do
details
and
about
what can you
special rates and
activities is here.
then we also like to have more details about special rates.
Okay, right. If you haven't finished,
Wait.
don't worry. Now, I'm going to give you a good example.
Wait, just we are finishing, please.
You have 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
No, já está aqui.
besides that,
We are wondering.
We will
We are
we
wondering.
Okay, now what I want you to do, it doesn't matter if you haven't finished, it's not a problem. What I want you to do with what you have so far, have a look at the checklist. Okay? Behind, okay, you have the checklist. Only with what you have, try to tick if you have included these things and if you have followed the rules. So put a tick next to each rule in the checklist. Here, put a tick if you have done it.
Include formal.
The full notes, the full questions, did you include them?
It's priorities for paragraphs.
Oh, we would also be interested to know.
Firstly,
Everyone
interested
yes,
in. Okay.
Yes.
Be interested in getting information, for example. Okay. Did you complete the checklist, Emma? Anna, stop the letter. It's not a problem if you haven't finished. Okay? All right. So now you have your checklist. Did you put a tick? Do you have a tick next to each statement or not? Girls, do you have a tick? Yes. Emma, do you have a tick next to each one? Okay, good. So you have your letter, and now you have a good example that Sally wrote afterwards. So I would like you to compare your letter to this one. But in this one, there are 6 gaps that you have to complete with the 6 words here. So you have 3 minutes to compare and then to complete the good example. That's for you, Emma.
Here she used interrogation mark. Is
A
there
question mark.
Yes, a question mark.
Is it a direct question or indirect question?
Indirect.
Okay, right. So, in this letter, did Sally include the 4 notes?
Yes.
Yes. Is everything in the same paragraph?
No,
No. Why not?
because she separated information.
Okay, because each information is not related to each other. It's different. So, how many notes? 4. How many paragraphs? 4. So, actually, 1 question per paragraph. Okay, good. So, what did you write, Anna, in number 1?
Inquire.
Inquire. Okay. Number 2. Inyash. Isabel.
First.
Barbara. 4.
Also,
5. Emma.
Reporting dates. Finally.
finally,
And last one.
Finally.
Finally. Excellent. Was it difficult?
No.
No. Right, now, in the bad example, you had one question. What can we see on the island? Good. In the second, in the good example, what did she use?
Could you please tell us what kind of things we could see there?
Okay, excellent. Could
It's
you...
the same thing.
It's the same question, but one is...
Informal. Informal.
Okay, so the informal one is a... What kind of question?
Direct.
Okay, and this one?
Indirect.
Okay, so can you repeat that, please, Ilyash? Could you please
Tell us what kind of things we could see there.
tell us what kind of things we could see there? Okay, so in the first question, what is the word older here? We have, can we see? Is it, we have, what is can?
May I?
What kind of word is can?
Oh, model verb.
Excellent, so we have the modal verb, then we have we, what is it?
We, the...
In the sentence, it's the subject, and then we have the verb. That's the normal order for a question. Now, do we have the same order in this one?
no.
No. We could see. What do we have first?
Subject.
Subject, modal verb,
The model verb.
plus the verb. So here, this is the same order as
Teacher,
positive.
model, is it with an E or A?
You're right, sorry. Modal verb.
Yeah.
That's an A, okay. So, subject plus modal plus verb. So here it's the same order as in a positive sentence, because it's indirect. And Ilyash, I heard you trying to write an indirect question. You say, oh, we would like to know, I would like to know which activities, and what did you write?
Besides that, we will also investigating.
Okay, but what about the
I
activities?
would like to know which activities can we do and what can we see.
Is that correct? Would like to know which activities can we do?
It's
We
possible.
can do, because it's indirect question, so you have to change the word order. Same as, hey Anna,
Sorry.
same order as in a positive question, positive sentence. Okay, good. So, any questions? No? No questions? Okay, give it to me. That's alright. It fell. Okay, good. So, that's it. So, for Friday.
Oh, teacher, no. We have a lot of dates.
But this will be really short, don't worry.
Teacher, don't give us a letter. No, a letter, no.
You need some practice, you need some practice.
No, we need
So, this time,
letters.
it's not a holiday in Cuba, it's even better. It's a holiday in Canada.
It's
not better.
teacher.
So, it's in Toronto. You have IH in Toronto, and you want to go to a summer camp in Toronto. So, this is the advert, and you made notes about it. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 questions. How many paragraphs? 4 paragraphs. And you have to write a letter. Informal or formal letter? Formal letter.
But in computer or to deliver you?
And you have to write to the director of the school. And who's the director of the school? Me. That's what you mean. So I want you to write
last name? Marianne Lebras.
ton. Okay. So you have my full name here. So you can type it if you want, or you can write it. It's up to you. Okay? So for Friday, I just want a draft. Do you understand what a draft is?
Like
Practice.
To practice. Okay.
Yes.
So you write the draft, and you have to include the 4 notes. But before you write, what do you have to use?
The planner.
The planner. So first you use the planner, then you write the letter, and what do you use afterwards?
The quick check.
Okay, the checklist to make sure you have included everything in your letter.